On the profile interview segment this week, I'll be speaking with the President General of the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, who also the Vice President of ITF Global. He explains the situation in the ports across the country while emphasizing on the need for the federal government to do the needful towards ensuring that the port has robust economic activities for nation building.
Together in the last Congress period, we have brought unity to the struggle. I look forward to working with the section during the next Congress period, where we will deliver for dockers and transport workers everywhere in the whole world. Thank you and God bless.
Congratulations on your election as the African chair of ITF and one of the vice presidents of ITF Global. What should Nigerian workers be expecting from this development?
Well, thank you for having me on your program. The election or the appointment, as Riley said, is called to duty. Called to duty if you are not trusted or tested or tested trusted. I do not think ITF will recognize Nigeria to be given that befitting office. So it is a challenge for me, and it's a challenge for all the workers in the transport sector, because you need to develop a new strategies to make sure you move along with the new trends. It's not going to be bread and butter where you are the President General of Maritime Workers from Nigeria and coupled with this international appointment or elections. So I cannot do it alone without the support of the Africans and the world. So we put everything in the hands of Almighty God. We'll get there.
Let's come back home. From Africa back to Nigeria. You are the President General of the Maritime Workers Union, and recently you addressed the press on the states of the maritime industry. Would you want to tell us why it was important for you to tell the world some of the challenges and the gains that the industry might have recorded?
Is to tell the whole world what is going on in the port now as it affects our members. It's situated by where you sign an agreement with stakeholders, witnessed by federal government. The representative of government witnessed it. The Minister of Blue Economy was able to be part of the agreement. And for you to wake up in the night and somebody said he's not going to be part of that agreement. And the matter that been hung for almost close to decades, we're able to use all the machinery that we have to make sure that we resolve it. And we felt it's a slight in the hands of the Maritime Workers of Nigeria, including the workers that we are protecting. Because the responsibility of any union leader is to protect the welfare of your workers. And when you now sign an agreement and you call all the workers that, yes, we're able to get something better for you, and the employers, one of the employers or two of the employers are not coming out and telling the whole world that, yes, they are not part of that agreement. It's an absurd in the eyes of the union and that of the workers. Yes, the industry is not moving the way we expected now, when Naira refused to marry dollar and dollar refused to marry Naira. So all is not well in the port sectors. Some of investors are no longer investing in the port of prison anymore, because like investors coming with 300 to 400 containers. What you see now is the drop down of the TEU have dropped down. 100 containers, 50 containers. So it's as bad as that. So, and we are imploring the government to strengthen the Naira the more, so that the people that have invested their money will have the dividend of what they invested for. And this thing is affecting our members. Every day now, what you call is redundance that is taking place in all the sectors. The shipping, the dock workers, the seafarers, they are not left out of this problem. So that's why we're able to say, okay, let's cry out, let the government strengthen the Naira the more, the better for all the workers in sectors. A place where you have about 600 to 700 workers, they are now reducing them to 50%. It's as bad as that. And what that proclaim is unemployment. So the sector is not moving. Go around the airport now, it's like a stadium where you can play football. So we don't know where we are, and that is why we're able to say, okay, let's tell the government, let them come out and do the needful by way of even focus on maritime sector.
Okay, during the press conference, you specifically mentioned that terminal operators' licenses have not been renewed, and that's also a contributing factor to the situation that the country finds its ports in. And from findings, people are taking their businesses elsewhere. They are patronizing other ports that is not even affiliated to the federal government. How would you react to this?
I think we reacted yesterday as a result of the experience we've had in the past. We remember when the port was to be concessioning, the government, the BP, they told us that nobody will lost their jobs, and what we saw was thousands of workers from Nigeria Port Authority, they lost their job. Thousands of workers in shipping, they lost their job. The dock workers, they are always at the receiving end. They lost their jobs. So the anxiety is going on in the port now, where the workers that have believed in stability, since the inception of these new terminal operators, there is stability in the port. Everybody believes that they have gotten the job security. But the person managing the workers, you refuse to renew their license. That anxiety is what we are trying to let the government know, that it might cause a lot of disharmony among the workers and that of the terminal operators. Because if I don't know my fate, I've put in almost 16 years under a particular terminal operator, and you did not renew his service, his contract, then what's my fate? So my fate is not is hanging in balance. So that is why we say, okay, fine. What is making the government not renew their license? Because the terminal operators have been telling the workers that yes, we have not, they have not renewed our license, and that is where we were able to do one or two things. And the welfare of the workers is very important. So that's why you see the 2 hours, coming out that yesterday and say, yes, there's need for government to look inward and make sure that they respect the rule of law. Because you brought them in to come and what? Do the business on behalf of this great country. And they have rendered the service. We are not speaking for them, but we are speaking because of the welfare of our members, the workers that involved in all the maritime sector.
So for those that have lost their job, were they paid their gratuity pensions and whatever they might, it's supposed to be the standard?
The sector is peculiar. We have shipping companies, the shipping branch of Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria. They have plan-by-plan negotiations, and there's no how you're going to ask a worker to leave without not paying them what is in line with the collective bargaining agreement between the union and that of the management. I think they were being paid. They were being paid. It's not about paying me, it's about what you pay me. Is it going to sustain my life? Even if you give me like 10 million now, the moment I hear the figure, the money is gone. So we're talking of job security that will help me to help my family and help my dependents. So that's what we're saying. It's not about whether they pay me. How much? How much is even the money? The money that has a name is gone.
All right. Recently, the Maritime Workers Union, in collaboration with relevant stakeholders in the sector, were able to see through towards a successful verification exercise of agency seafarers. Can you tell us if there is any update as regards these retirees getting their benefits?
Some called for people that have contributed to the seafaring in this great country for the past decades. Their pensions are yet to be paid. And what you did was to carry out physical verifications. We call it tripartite arrangement between the union, the stakeholders, and that of the federal government. Up to now, they've not come out with actual number of the seafarers. Even the so-called next of kin, that's supposed to be part of beneficiary of these pensions. Some of them are dying day out, every day. And If government have given you responsibility as a chairman of a particular area, you need to do it, because one day you as a chairman, you will retire one day. The cane you use in caning all those agency fairs is on top of the roof for the same chairman, because we are not happy, because the respect we have for the Minister of Blue Economy is still there. He gave directive. Make sure you verify and get back to me. For the past 3 or 4 months now, they have done the verifications, reports have not been coming out. We don't even know how to negotiate their right. Is it going to be on personal buyout? Is it going to be on whatever arrangement we all make together with the government? Because it is when you know the actual number of people that have died and those ones that are still alive, that's the time you can think of, okay, how much are you going to get for them? So we are not happy, and that's why the union issued threat yesterday that between now and a couple of weeks, if they did not listen to us and the committee chairman, through the Minister of Blue Economy, did not do the needful, I think the union will not be forced for any action they see. It
was observed that there's some lacuna in terms of job specification of some maritime workers union members that does not exist anymore. Not like as if the role does not exist, but they've not been employed to, carry out this function. What do you have to say about that?
There's no how you're going to stagnate the tally class and Oboga women for not performing their legitimate rights in line with what gave birth to dock workers, because they form integral part of dock workers. And for the past 4 or 5 years now, those people have been suspended by Nigeria Port Authority. And we are hoping that the new MD of MPA, who happen to be a proactive person, an insider, will look into that, because who is taking records of all the cargo that are coming in and going out of this country, and who is tallying all those cargo is the tally clerks and Oboga way. And before you climb a vessel, there's what we call gangway men. There's no way you're going to climb a ladder and so you want to say the captain, or you want to go on board the vessel without somebody beyond the gangway that will stop you and chase you. And what's your business on board the vessel? Those are their job. And somebody tallying physically, who is taking record of all those cargo for the past 5 years now? Is government not losing? They are losing a lot of revenue.
So what is the implication? Aside revenue, safety, are there other social challenges that might occur with this gap?
Well, the gap is there because the way it is now is like you leave it empty in the hands of the terminal operators. The job that belongs to you as a landlord, you gave it to a tenant to manage. How do you recoup your revenue as a landlord? That is what is going on between not engaging those tally clerks and Oboga women. And if you look again, the terminal itself, all those jetties, who are the people managing that place? There's no feasible of Nigeria Port Authority, NIMASA, and that of Shippers Council. As Shippers Council now, there's no feasible of human element in that place. And the union is saying, okay, fine, who is managing that place? Because you are the one that licensed those bonded terminals. And you gave them free hand to go and operate. Where are your own representatives? And that's why the union is saying, okay, you need to employ my hands that is going to manage the bonded terminal, the jetties, and other area of terminal operations.
Finally, I know you and your colleagues refuse to put a figure to the amount of money that the federal government is losing for not doing some certain things in the sector. However, what would be your final words to the federal government on this interview towards optimizing the port and what it can contribute to the nation at large?
Why we cannot give a figure was that we are not statisticians, and the office of the head of statistics in this country need to know what the government must have been losing for the past years when there's what we call under declaration of tonnage going on in the ports. And thank God we're having an MD who is an insider, who knows about the job proper. I believe he'll be able to look at what we are saying, that the government's looking inward to to make sure that all the other jetties, all the jetties under their command, they are being manned by the presence of the staff of Nigeria Port Authority, the one of NIMASA and that of CPAS Council. They concentrated more on oil and oil and oil all the time. What about the port? After the oil is a gateway to Nigeria economy, that is Nigeria Port Authority. So I think they should strengthen most of all these MDAs, the managing director, the DG, NIMASA, to do more by way of expanding their scope into all those areas that they have not been putting their staff.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And that's all we can take on today's edition of the program. Join us next week for a fresh edition of the show. I am Sharon Ijason. Thanks for watching, and remember that labor creates wealth.